After my dad died, I forced the woman who had cared for him out of our home. 20 years later, one package. Destroyed everything I believed for the last 6 years. Of his life, my father had been completely bedridden. A quiet 62-year-old woman named Margaret cared for him every single day. She fed him, cleaned him, gave him medicine, and stayed awake during his worst nights. I visited twice a month. I stayed barely 15 minutes before leaving again. Night my father passed away, I found Margaret sitting beside his bed holding his hand, with tears running down her face. She never left his side. 4 days after the funeral, walked into the kitchen and placed house papers on the table. "Margaret, you need to leave by Friday. I'm putting the house up for sale." Her eyes filled with panic. "But, Ethan, your father promised I could stay here." Looked at her coldly. "My dad made a lot of promises. None of them matter anymore." She quietly packed her clothes into 2 old suitcases. I watched her struggle down the front steps alone. I never helped her, never called a cab, never even said goodbye, and honestly, I didn't care. A few months later, sold the house for nearly $1 million. My company expanded fast, bought a larger home, remarried, and eventually had children of my own. At first, I occasionally remembered Margaret. Maybe she found another family to work for. Maybe she moved away, eventually. I stopped thinking about her entirely then. Exactly 20 years later, a small package appeared at my front door. Sender inside was an old photograph and a handwritten letter. The photo showed my father as a young man standing beside a smiling woman with her hand resting on her pregnant stomach. I had never seen her before. Written on the back were the words, "Boston, 1971, Richard and Evelyn." 2 months before Ethan was born, my hands started shaking. Then I unfolded the letter. "Dear Ethan, if this letter reached youth and I am no longer alive, there is something your father begged me to hide from you forever." And the very next sentence completely destroyed my entire world. Leave a comment for part 2 if you want to know the secret he took to his grave.